Right, everybody. Setting up on Facebook Live here. All right, so welcome everybody. It is day 8. That means we're completely done with an entire week of our challenge, of our 3-week challenge. I know some people have joined a little bit late, and I totally understand that. Remember, there is a YouTube playlist of all of these videos in the file section of this group. So if you're playing catch up and you need to see what's been going on and make sure you know what's going on, go to the file section of this group. There's a YouTube link in there, and it has all of the videos, day 1 through day 8. I do a video every afternoon. So this is day 8. What I want to talk to you today about is eating out at restaurants. So a lot of people, they think, man, I'm doing this clean eating thing. I probably shouldn't go out to eat because that'll ruin my my newfound resolution. And to be honest, it is harder to go out to eat than it is probably to eat at home and know exactly what's going in your food. But the cool thing about 90/10 is that with the system, you can still eat out, and there's some easy ways to be able to do that. Okay, so if you're eating out, first of all, fast food is 90% just don't go there if you can. But there's a couple of places that you can do fairly well. I did a blog actually recently on Panera because they've done this big 100% clean food thing. Be careful with that kind of stuff because they still, it's Panera bread. It's bread and pastries and cookies and stuff like that. They're still using sugar and calling that clean food. So when they say clean food, not necessarily the same thing that we mean when we say clean food. Can you get clean food there? Can you eat clean there? It is possible. You can get some salads. You can get the dressing on the side. You can do oil and vinegar. There's some other things there that they have. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that's really clean food. But you're probably going to be at least yellow tier there. Now Chipotle, on the other hand, if you're eating out, you can go to Chipotle and they have brown rice and they have meat and they have salsa and they have cheese and they have guacamole, black beans, all kinds of stuff that are actually green tier. You can make yourself a burrito bowl or a taco salad, and you can get almost 100%, if not 100% green tier at Chipotle. That's one of my favorite places. They have really done recently a big push towards whole food ingredients and real food ingredients and not a bunch of preservatives and junk in their food. I actually did a comparison, and I think I'm actually going to do a blog comparison between Qdoba and Chipotle because they're so similar. You think it's the same thing, but Qdoba's stuff has a ton more preservatives and a ton more junk and a lot more sugar and maltodextrin and all that kind of stuff than Chipotle does. So that's just some interesting information. But what we really want to talk about more is you're taking the family out to eat or whatever, and you're going to go to I don't know, Olive Garden, Applebee's, that style of restaurant or whatever, maybe a local pub, something like that. What do you do? First thing, my first number 1 tip for you is do not be afraid to ask about stuff, okay? You can basically take the tiers, and if you do this for a little while, you're just going to know what's on the tiers, right? But you can basically take the tiers and you can ask, what's in that sauce, what's in that dressing, and they know what's in those things. They just go back and ask the chef, and he'll tell you what's in the stuff. Maybe not quantities, he may not give you the recipe, but he'll tell you, you can ask, is there any sugar in that dressing? And they will tell you the ingredients of the dressing or whatever. So don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to ask for what you need. Okay. The second thing is, it's really, I usually like to stick with the simplest things at restaurants that have less chance of having a lot of ingredients. So I go to places where they'll have a meat and a starch and a veggie. So if you can get the salmon with the wild rice and the steamed vegetables, you're going to be pretty good. And you can ask for some changes if you need. You could replace the starch if it's white potatoes or something with more veggies. I've done that before. You can get a steak. There's lots of options that you can do there. But if you stick with the simple things, if you go with a soup, there's going to be a lot of ingredients in there and you're not sure about, especially a creamy soup, right? If you go with a pre-dressed salad, you might need to get that dressing on the side so that you can know what's in it. But all you have to do is know what's in the food. You don't have to count points. You don't have to get calorie information or anything like that. And the simpler the items are, the easier it is to know what's in it. The next tip for eating out is, remember what I talked about the other day. Was that yesterday or the other day? Treats versus cheats. If you want to plan yourself a time to go out with the family to a very special place and you don't want to stick to a steak and veggies and some rice or something like that, and there's some special thing that you want that is not going to meet the green tier or the yellow tier, do it as a planned thing that you're going to do at a special occasion. Okay, so you might have that planned treat to go out to a restaurant, and that might be your thing. Or if you're going to go out to a restaurant and you want to try to stay good, stick with the simple things that you can know what the ingredients are, and make sure that you're willing to ask what the ingredients are. You can totally stay green tier and yellow tier at restaurants. I've done it many, many times. It's very, very possible. And that's one of the cool things about 90-10, okay? So I'm going to post a video that Lisa and I made a while back that just kind of talks about that concept. You guys can watch that. And then if you have any questions about eating out, post them on this video. I don't know if anybody's posting anything on this video already. I don't see any comments yet. But hit me up with them, all right?